Hey everybody, this is Devin with Homeschool House Calls, and I'm going to make this video. I have several new families. If you know me locally, I help moms start homeschooling all year long, but I have a couple of new families that I'm working with that are starting mid-year. So we're going to talk about what to do. As you know, most of the time when you start homeschooling, you want curriculum, but curriculum is sold in a year lot. So it's like if you get a math book and you buy a math curriculum, you're getting a whole year's worth, but you're halfway through the year. So we're going to talk about how to keep things on a budget so that you're not you have two ways. Keep things on a budget. You've got two ways you can handle this. You can either start from the beginning of the year and work all the way through the summer. That's a good option if you need some review, like maybe the first half of the year was not so great and you need to build confidence. But if everything was okay and you have other reasons that maybe that's not why you're homeschooling, maybe there's some other things going on, whatever reason you started, maybe you want to start in the middle of the year. My first suggestion is to not jump into all the curriculum and just buy a big set for the whole year and not know what to do. Look at some of the free options out there. I'm going to show you some easy peasy. Even with easy peasy, there are two options you can do. You can start from the beginning if you need reinforcement, or you can start mid-year and this is going to take a lot of communication. You need to know what your children were working on when they were in public or private school before you pulled them out and started. If you don't know, there's no right or wrong with homeschool. Most of the time, all you want to see is progression. If you live in a state that wants a portfolio, such as Florida, your evaluator is going to want to see progression. Some states will require testing. You want to see progression. And even if you're reinforcing what they already knew and maybe brushing up on skills, you are still having progress. So don't get overwhelmed. Since it's mid-year, I suggest using something like Easy Peasy, which is free. There are some other online ones. I know a lot of moms, it just kind of depends on how you want to choose curriculum. Sometimes you want online, sometimes you want offline. Easy Peasy has a lot of their workbooks online now, but we're going to look at that. And if you want books, you can buy them out there, but there's not going to find free. So let me share the screen and look at that a little bit so that you can see it. Here is Easy Peasy. They have two sites. Remember that if you're using Easy Peasy, they have two sites. One is for 8th grade and below. One is for high school. So there's all-in-one homeschool.com. That is for 8th grade and below. All-in-one high school is for high school. So we're gonna stay with the 8th grade and below for right now. There's a little difference between them, not a lot. So anyway, over here, when you look here, here's the support bar right here. They have all the stuff up at the top. Here's high school. They'll have the link. You can donate. They have scope and sequence printables. They have stuff. They have stuff you can go to. They have a store. You can go in there and you can get some things, but most of the classes, they're all free. You can, if you're going to print something out, just go ahead and buy it on Amazon. I have actually interviewed her. I don't think it's here in the YouTube channel. I need to actually contact her about interviewing her again so that we can put it over here. She is fabulous, but here are the classes. I'm going to move my little video it won't move for you, but it'll move for me. So they've got preschool, art, Bible, computer, foreign language, history, language arts, math, all the way down. Now, as a mama who's homeschooled 18 years, before high school, I'm pretty flexible. The two that you really want to focus on right now, because you're new and you're moving into homeschooling, math, language arts. These two things have to be strong. You want your children confident, because if you decided to put them back into the public school system, At least in my area, those are the two things they're going to test on, and they want to be on grade level. The two most important. If they grade you on anything, I don't know about, I can't say I'm in Alabama. I can say what I've seen. Math, language arts, you want them strong, you want them confident, you want them at grade level or above. If they are not there now, this is your time to work toward that. I'm just telling you, that's just how it is. I hope that you choose to homeschool like forever, because I think it's one of the most awesome things ever. But you know, that's what I've seen. So anyway, I'm making this video. I'm sending it to a couple of mamas. So I'm saying I'm in Alabama, but I also talk on the YouTube channel to people all over the state. I work with, all over the country. Those two things, you want them strong. Even if you're not going back to public school, you want those to be up on level. So my kids, when I start the school year in the fall, I always add one thing at a time. I go math for a week to 2 weeks, language arts for a week to 2 weeks. Then I'll add history and science and all the other stuff. So let's look at math right here. This is their math section. You can go down through it. It just, they have a video on it. You can watch their video. I'm not going to play that for y'all because, it just would take time. But let's see, let me find the math. I'm going down. Okay, so down here on the math, they have it on the bottom. If I organized it, I'd put it on the top. I think math is one of the most important. First grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth and sixth. This is basically fifth, advanced fifth, sixth grade, advanced sixth. How do they do that? I always get them kind of backwards. Advanced fifth and sixth grade level, advanced sixth, seventh grade level. Algebra. Pre-algebra is usually started in seventh or eighth grade. The mamas I have been talking to this week, we're looking at pre-algebra. There's algebra 1. So if you're able to get a hold of, or if you have seen their work, you can compare what they've been doing with what's here. If you don't know, or if they're not strong in math, I would start from the very beginning and let them move just as fast as they want. For this half of the year, these are the two most important: math, language arts. So I honestly, I believe even if they know it, it's reinforcing what they know. And if they don't know it, they're plugging any holes. So that in the summer, when you've finished as much as you can for this, and if you decide to change to a different curriculum, like I use teaching textbooks, they can do a placement test, and it's going to maybe make it stronger so that they can go into their right thing. Math, no matter what level, I never advise bumping up, because math builds on itself, and if there's any holes, you want them strong. So if they have done pre-algebra and they had okay grades, I would just start at the beginning and go through the summer. They can go as fast or as slow as they need to. If they have not done pre-algebra, then just go to the level that's like this one. I would do 6th or 7th grade, even 8th grade if they have not started this yet. And you're trying to fill in any holes, make them strong and confident. If they have math anxiety, I would totally go a level below and let them have a lot of success so that they start feeling strong and confident, because math is so important. So that's what I would do. Let's go inside and look at it. I'm gonna let you see what it looks like. Let's see, they have workbooks that you can actually order. I always judge whether something is really cheap to print or not. If it's not cheap for you to print this at home, just buy the workbook. They're not expensive. I think they're like maybe $12 maybe. So that's not a lot when it comes out to printing. By the time I buy the paper and the ink, I've spent more than $12. So that's how I feel about it. I always judge things, especially since I have so many. They have a workbook. They have a parent's guide. They have that there. You can learn about our books to work offline if you want to, they've got stuff there. Then they have all, your how to use it. You can go through that. If I tell you to take a quiz, if you don't see it on the page, click on the words, quiz group, and find it. So free, sometimes there's a little bit of work involved. You as the mother, you're in charge. Find, keep track of what page they're on, keep track of what they're going on. I would kind of like what I did when my kids were younger and they were using this. We don't use it now. We've used it periodically. My sister used it all the way through. I would, in the morning when I was drinking my coffee, my kids were not up, I would kind of go through everything they were doing, like go to the page, like if she's on page 20, just glance through and read what's going on so that because middle school teens sometimes can be tricky. I had one that I had to keep in front of me at all times. I have another one that I have to watch pretty closely. They're very similar behaviors, similar characters is what they are. So here, this is how they list it. Lesson 1, that's day 1. You can go through there. It tells you everything that you want to do. You can use the My Assignments. They usually want you to donate something, but you can create an account, and it kind of keeps track of where they are. So it kind of helps, but it's very not real hard to use. So if there is an offline version of this course, if you'd like it in Workbook, you can go to the top of the course page for the book links. It's got that there. Then this is what you're reviewing. They're reviewing the order of operations. Let's see, let's click on that. It'll take us over there. This is what it does. It explains that and what it explains all that. Then you go back. I hope that switched over okay. Screen sharing is funny with me. Then they have a game to play. So you go to the game. So they have a game. That is what they've got. And then, that's for day 1. I said at the end of the work for this course on your first day, you're allowed to move at your own pace. But it's intended for you to complete 1 lesson a day. So you can do more. If she wants to do more, here, lesson 2, you review the properties, then you're practicing. This is taking you over to Khan Academy. So they use that Khan Academy. You can use that there. You can actually set up an account. It's a pretty good curriculum. It works a little bit different than maybe what we're used to as adults, what we're familiar with. It almost makes it like a tree where you complete one thing when you do it, and then it'll give you choices to go different places. So it doesn't let you go everywhere. You have to have has to be an order of what you can do with math. Math works on itself. It builds on itself. So anyway, this day 1, lesson 1, day 2, lesson 2, day 3, lesson 3. And they just go through that. If it's very easy, they can do 2 or 3 days at a row. I mean, that just depends on your child. If it's something they're reviewing, they may be able to go through it really quick. If it's something they don't know, they may need to just go through it some more. So I think it works really well. My nieces really loved it. The second thing I would look at is language arts. They got 6, 7, then intermediate, then here's English 8. So this is literature and composition, which is pretty much what you'll have in 9th grade. Remember when you were in high school, you had half a year doing grammar and writing and all that kind of stuff, and then you'd spend half a year with all the literature and whatever they had there. That's what we all do. That's what we did. So anyway, 8th. This is it says it's a new course, so that's something they've added new. It gives you 1 credit. It's actually taking you up to the high school website. So this is one of their high school down there, and that works. You can actually save it for 9th grade if you wanted to. It's recommended for 8th or 9th grade. If you do this and she does well, put it on the transcript. Yeah, completely works. That's one of the perks of homeschooling. I have a lot of mine in 8th grade. I started on some high school. So let's see, let's look at it. It has a reading list. There's going to be things to read. You can kind of look at it and see, is this something my child can handle? My Gabriella would love this. My Olivia, not so much. So I had lesson 1, materials for English, vocabulary notebook. They give you suggestions of what to get. Welcome to your first day of school. Do not click on anything else on this page. I don't know why. I don't know. We encourage you to find a peer editing partner. That's probably somebody your same age where you can have someone grade your paper. Here's the vocabulary, reading, grammar. So they have a little bit of everything. And then you go to lesson 2. So real easy, not hard. They have some games in here for them to play, see the types of sentences. So, I mean, it's really laid out. It's really a good program. I'm going to go back and let y'all look at the 7th grade language arts so that you can see the difference. So this is in the same website. Here's the thing. They have a book. You can actually order it if you don't want to print anything. Then let's see, day 1, they have writing. There's the writing. So they look at the list of 100 most beautiful words, write a motto or catchphrase for the year using at least one of them. Scroll up for information at the end of your course for your first day. You can move at your own pace, but it's intended for you to complete 1 lesson a day. So then they have writing. They're going, it's about the same as the other one. It just doesn't seem to have as much reading. So that is that. Then let's see, let's go look. They have foreign languages. You can do that if she wants to, or he or she, or art. I did a little bit of everything. I usually try for this age to have the 4 core: math, language arts, history, and science. And then I try to add like 2 electives. It could be foreign language, it could be music, it could be art, whatever they're kind of interested in. My girls take piano. They have lessons. That is one of their electives. Then they do foreign language. They do Spanish. Those are the 2. Sometimes they've done American Sign Language, different stuff. So here's the history. It's going to be a little bit different than what the public school, private schools probably got set up. They have ancient, early American, geography, modern. If nothing is similar to what you've had, just pick whichever one you like. It's fine. History's history. Just move through, and then halfway through the year you can stop if you want to, or go through the summer. I would not stress overdoing a whole year unless you're working with a transcript for high school and you need the credit and it needs to be similar. But before high school, I would not worry too much. History's history. They're still learning and moving forward. I would just start at the beginning and go halfway through. If she really loves it, she could continue to the end. Remember, you're starting midway through. You only need half of a year. If you can combine it, and math and language arts you want to build. History and science, don't worry so much. It's so that is what they've got for that. Let's find the science. They've got PE. They've got reading down here. I would do that if you, along with the language arts. Probably, I would add in the reading along with the language arts up in the beginning, just so that they're reading something. I try to get my kids to read for fun more than worry about a class, because I want them to read and enjoy reading. So we're not in high school yet. So science, here's science. They've got biology, zoology, earth science, chemistry, physics and chemistry. Just kind of look at what they've had your mid-year. Maybe similar is good, but I would not stress too much. The same as with history. Don't overly stress if you're not in high school. Just pick one, at least do half the year. If they want to go through the summer and get most of it done, that's perfectly fine. Just pick one. It's good. So I would pick one of these readings. Let's see, reading 7, what it looks like. I would not pick anything else. If you pick the literature and composition, you've got plenty of both. But if you did the English 7, I would pick the reading 7 to go along with it, because it'll go along with it. They're going to have some books to read. and just go. It is, as you see, this will not take all day. That's another thing. Let me stop the screen sharing. Another thing to remember, homeschooling will not take as long as public schooling. You have to remember, with a public school situation, private school situation, a teacher has anywhere from 20 to 30 kids. It takes all day to get school done when you have that many kids, and you're spending a lot of managing of the classroom. With homeschooling, you're not having to manage a classroom. You've got one, maybe two or three, depending on how many kids you've got. If you only have one, you've got one kid. My teens usually get their schoolwork anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. We are completely online this year, and it usually takes them about 3. That's average. They take 3 hours a day. What do I do with my kids the rest of the time? No, we do not turn on the TV. We do not get on the internet. Well, they may get on the internet. I don't mind gaming too much. There's some learning there. I definitely don't turn on the TV. That's like they're pulling them down a hole. It just does not do good things. They do about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours of their online school. Then I have reading assigned. They have to read at least an hour a day. Sometimes they read more. I have one. Now I have 5 kids total, but only 3 are students now. The 2 oldest are in college. My high schooler loves to read. She'll read all afternoon. My middle schooler, not so much. So I ask her for, I really want a chapter is what I want, but I asked for about an hour. So she has to do that. And she's actually found a book she likes right now. I do a lot of what you would call a book tastings, trying them out, at least try 2 or 3 chapters, see how you feel. It's hard. Kids are hard. I try to find them a hobby to get involved in. My middle schooler is doing, she's learning to knit. She found a YouTube channel. See, I don't mind. That's why I don't mind electronics too much. I don't want random being sucked down watching somebody else play a game type watching on YouTube. But she's watching somebody knit and learning how to knit. And I don't mind that kind of, you see what I mean? I don't mind that kind of looking around. So that's what I do with her. I try to, with my middle schoolers, my goal is to find hobbies, things that they're interested in, things they want to do. I did that with all of mine. My 10th grader likes watercolors. She likes to garden. She has growing mushrooms out in the back of our property. She has a little area where she's growing them. She checks those every day. She likes watercolors. She likes poetry. She likes to read. So she has her hobbies. Olivia, we're trying to discover those. It's been a little bit harder with her. She's a little resistant. If you've watched my YouTube channel enough, you know that I have really worked hard to make connection with her. After we had our surprise baby, it got a little dicey and I kind of forgot about her a little bit. So I'm working really hard to make connection. We try to make time on the front porch with tea. Gabriella very naturally tries to find me. Olivia, I have to invite into my world. And sometimes it's hard, but it's worth it. Children are worth it. They are worth making those extra steps. So, but anyway, back to curriculum. Remember, there's no right or wrong at this time of year. We want progression. We want to move forward. As you spend time with your child and you begin to learn how they learn, it gets easier. You'll find what they need better. But don't jump into buying curriculum because, you know, that's a whole year. Go use some free, find out how they learn. And then in the summer, you can reevaluate if you want to continue with easy peasy or find something else. No right or wrong as long as we're moving forward. That's the whole plan. But I'm going to let y'all go. I wanted to keep this short. Excuse me. Remember, I'm for you. I believe in you. If you discover this YouTube channel video, comment and subscribe, like it. Let me know what you need. Bye, guys.